Happy Tuesday, guys. Today's home workout is a for time workout, 3 sets. We're going at a fast pace, so at 80 to 90% effort or a tough pace. Starting with 30 to 25 calories. If you don't have a machine, let's go for burpees here, or even going for a 400-meter run. That's another option as well. Once you do the run, the calories or the burpees, we're gonna go into 3 hang power cleans. So these are supposed to be a little bit on the heavier side. So hang power cleans today. If you have a single object, you don't have much option with weight, then go 6 hang power cleans alternating. So you'll do one on the one side and then switch and then go to the opposite side. If you happen to have some kind of sandbag or some kind of odd object you can clean safely, and it's a little bit on the heavier side, let's definitely use that for this workout. So we want to build some strength in this workout, not so much going into the endurance side. We're trying to build that more of the strength side today. So hang power cleans, then we're going to handstand push-ups, 15 reps here. Pick a progression here that you're going fairly comfortable with, that you can do 15 in 2 sets. So you'll notice that there's hang power cleans, handstand push-ups again, and it's just alternating until the handstand push-ups get down to 5. You're doing 30 per round, so you don't want to pick a progression where you're just burning out the shoulders in the first round. We definitely want to condition the shoulders, but we don't want to be working on that handstand push-up or just learning how to do that in this workout. So pick a progression like a dive bomber, a strict press, a push press, to be able to condition the shoulders for today and move fairly quickly through the movements. So again, not so much building the skill, building more of the strength in this workout. So again, as I mentioned, the reps are going down. We're going down to 3 hang power cleans, or maintaining the hang power cleans, but going down to 5 handstand push-ups. So you should be speeding up as you reach the end of the round. Going slower in the beginning and then transitioning to a faster end at the end of each round. You're gonna rest 1-to-1. So we've done this one, similar one like this before, where we're resting 1-to-1 at the end. This is good to build the engine here. So we want to be going fast, give ourselves time to recover, and then be able to repeat that continuously. So this is great for building that aerobic endurance while we're building strength at the same time here. So 3 sets here. You should be able to try to finish each round within that 5-minute range there. I wouldn't go past it. If you're going 6 or 7 minutes, you're kind of you might have picked a hard progression there, and you're kind of getting stuck in those handstand push-ups probably. So make sure you pick the right progression so that you're within that 5 minutes. I would say in total this should take you no more than 25 minutes to complete. Okay, so that would be the ideal time limit for this. Anything past that might be that you picked the progression too hard for yourself. So great workout there, guys, to build that endurance and also to build strength in this workout, especially with the 1-to-1 work-rest ratio there. Once you finish that, guys, we're gonna go into a cool down of a pec stretch and a lat stretch to really just try to open up that shoulder girdle to be comfortable in those positions. I know sometimes your pecs or lats might get really tight during the week, or even just from sitting down, might be slouched over from work or anything like that. It's great to open up that chest, get yourself kind of in that good posture after doing those stretches. So great workout and afterburn today, guys. I hope you guys enjoy it. We'll see you guys next for the warm-up. All right, so for today's warm-up, we're gonna start with an active lat stretch. So that means we're not just staying in a static position. We're trying to be moving a little bit in that position with the shoulder around, try to feel out the lats and activate the lats ideally. So for this lat stretch, guys, you can almost do this with any style of lat stretch. For this one, we're just gonna do it off the floor, no equipment needed. Get on your knees there, then you're gonna reach to the opposite corner of your body, so we're lengthening that one side of our body, especially the lats specifically. I like to push my hand over top of my hand there, kind of keep it anchored to the ground, and then pull my shoulder blade away from my hand, feeling that stretch, or kind of just leaning into it to lengthen that muscle. From there, to keep it active, I'm going to pull my shoulder blade in, pull my shoulder blade out, kind of work around in that position. Again, you don't want to stay static. You want to try to also activate the muscle a little bit side. We're gonna go into our warm-up here with 3 rounds. And these are continuous rounds, so keep a running timer. Each interval is about 20 seconds, and we kind of want to move at a pace where we're kind of getting that heart rate up, feeling out the movements, and getting ourselves primed. So 20 seconds of the bottom of the single-legged deadlift hold with some flies continuously throughout that 20 seconds. So I'm not going to use any weights here. You can use weights if you like, keep them light. The hardest part is going to be the balance part of it, for holding for 20 seconds. So for that single-legged deadlift with the body weight, I'm going to keep that back leg straight. For the leg that's on the floor, the knee is slightly bent. I'm going to hinge over at the hips, come to a point where my back is flat, I feel balanced, and then I'm going to go for those flies for 20 seconds, really trying to activate that upper back as I do the flies or as I hold that bottom of the single-legged deadlift. Doing that for one side for 20 seconds, then the next 20 seconds, grab your PVC, your broomstick, any kind of straight object to kind of mimic this, and we're going to go for alternating PVC pass-throughs with a lunge. So I'm going to get into my snatch width, so a nice wide grip so I can go through that full pass-through, and as I'm doing that pass-through, I'm going to lunge forward, lunge back in, and bring that PVC back in, and then I'm going to switch sides, same thing on the opposite side. So you're going to be doing reps for 20 seconds there. Once you finish that, we're going to go back to the bottom of the single-legged deadlift hold with the flies as we do that hold, but on the opposite side. So right side, again, hinge at the hips, come down, and then go for those flies for those 20 seconds. Once you finish that, guys, we're going to come down to the floor. Last 20 seconds here of hollow rocks. So we can start from our pike position. We're going to tighten up our core, so kind of make that banana shape with our body, at least with the upper back there. Tightening up the core, feet are together. I'm going to sit back, come off the ground, and I'm going to rock back and forth with control, hands by my side or even overhead. You can bend your knees and hold it with your hands as well. We're really just trying to activate that core and find that coordination with the movement for the rest of the movements later on. So 3 rounds of that, continuous rounds, keep a running timer, 20 seconds of one of a different movement each time. And again, if you like, progress, make it a little more challenging as you go to your 3rd round there. That will be the warm-up for today. We'll see you guys next for the movement standards. 9 hang power cleans. So again, you guys can use that same weight. If you're going single arm, let's go 9 per side. Or if you have a barbell, just go 9 total as prescribed. For those hang power cleans, guys, we're gonna bend over at the hips, kind of like that bent over row position. From here, we're gonna drive through the legs nice and hard. As we drive through the legs nice and hard, pull through the elbow. We're gonna land in that front rack position. So that front rack position, elbows tall, hips are back. Then we're gonna stand it up from there before we start our next rep. So nice hard drive, elbow through, hips back, and then stand it up. Make sure, guys, it's common, we're going to be kind of wanting to let our knees kind of go forward and catch with those femurs. We want to push the hips back as we catch it. So, for the strict handstand push-ups, again, you can have that second progression just in case that first progression you just lose your strength, or like halfway through you're not able to do the rep. Always have that second backup in case, just to keep the workout going. So for that, guys, we're going to talk about that dive bomber. So we're going to use that dive bomber as a progression, and then we're going to go into that strict handstand push-up as the next progression above that. So with that dive bomber, guys, we go nice and wide with your feet. Guys, you should use some kind of ab mat or some kind of mat to get your head down to the ground, at least when you make contact with it. Hands are going to be in about push-up width, and they're going to be close to the feet. From here, we're going to think about leaning forward so that we're on those toes and getting over top of those wrists. And then from there, we're going to be dropping the head down right in front of our hands. So notice that my hands are behind my head and they're not in line. So I want them back here. Then I'm going to press my head straight through the window to finish that rep. So that's key, guys. Really trying to get our head in front of our hands when we're doing that strict handstand push-up, whether it be with that dive bomber or even if you get your feet on a box and do it elevated. Make sure that head is going in front of the hands so we can really use that back to drive it up and not use the front of the delts and put too much pressure on the shoulder there. So you guys can do those, or you can do your strict handstand push-ups against the wall. Same things apply. Get those elbows in, get that head in front of the hands, stay in a nice tight body position there.
All right, guys, welcome to the afterburn. Hope you had a good workout. We're gonna start with that pec stretch. So we are doing 90 seconds per side. First one we're gonna do is I'm just gonna get you planting your hand onto that wall. So I'm actually pushing my palm into the wall and then locking my elbow out. And then I'm just gonna turn my feet in the opposite direction. So I'm just trying to walk my feet away more and more. Upper body comes with it. Now you can play with your position here on the wall a little bit higher. You might feel a little bit more in the pec. Remember, you might be tempted to bend your elbow. Try to avoid that. 90 seconds per side on that. Then we're gonna get into a lat stretch. So for the lat stretch here, guys, if you have a tennis ball, lacrosse ball, any type of ball will work here. I want you guys to think about working that lat right where kind of on the outside of that armpit, back right underneath the shoulder. And you're just gonna put that lacrosse ball into that area of the lat and you're gonna lean up against that wall. You can try to play around with this position where you're leaning more into it. You can twist a little bit more onto the back of that lat, or you can go a little bit down the lat. And also add movement. So I find whenever I find a spot that's a little bit knotted, I add a rotation in that arm and shoulder, maybe do a press back and forth. And you're just gonna fish around for areas that feel a little bit uncomfortable. We're gonna get uncomfortable here. You can also try this one on the ground. I prefer the ground actually more than the wall. So try both, see what one feels a little bit better. And remember, when you find that spot that kind of seems to take your breath away a little bit, remember to breathe through it. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow.